bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with some more testing on the new Puma releases, coming to you straight from Mint Hill with a 20-something mile day. Now, if you are interested in running shoes, stacking mileage, getting the insights on the latest and greatest shoes, you are in the right place, but an even better place will be the Supple app. So the Supple app is my app, and it's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace for hobby joggers out there, and the best place to find deals on running shoes, because somebody might get a shoe like this, the MagMax or the Deviate or the Mega Blast, put a run in it. It doesn't work for them, so you list it on the app well below MSRP. People will also find links to whatever website is selling new stuff, maybe early. That's how I was able to get the Deviate Nitro Elite, the race shoe. And then you can also get access to early stuff. So if that's what you're into, saving money on shoes, getting access to the latest gear, get in with us and enjoy today's video. Alright, man, we are up and at 'em early today in Mint Hill, 5:56 a.m. with Roni, my human alarm clock. She decided 5:40 was a good time to start screaming, so here we are. Did you think 5:40 was a good time to start screaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, so today I need to get a big mileage day, man. I'm really behind on mileage. I'm at about 54 miles for the week, and I would really like to hit 100. Or at least salvage a 90. And the other thing is, a storm is coming this way. We're getting this massive ice storm across most of the country. So I think I might move up my long run to tomorrow. But we got to focus on today because it's still today. What do you think, Roni? Yeah, so last night I was up a little bit on the later side doing one of my least favorite activities, which is timesheets, and the client services team.
I want that stick. Are we walking?
Yeah, I had to do my quarterly timesheets last night. It was miserable. I was up till midnight. It took me forever.
I did my. Then I ask milk, Daddy.
Yes.
What did you say?
Yes, you can have milk.
So don't we?
So chilly? Yes, let's do that this weekend, okay?
What's this?
That's a pen for the family board.
Family board.
Alright, I'm making some breakfast here.
Then I put this.
You want milk?
Then I fit. My sitting. My sitting. And I ask for this. Then I ask for
Yes. Yes. Want some granola?
Yo. I don't like that one.
So Charlie has been making this delicious granola.
I like that one.
You like which one?
I want that one.
The granola?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you some as well.
Yeah, Daddy.
Yes? What's up?
I love you.
I love you too.
I just don't want.
My rest? Shorter than I wanted it to be, but it was nice to see you in the morning, even though you woke up early. How was your rest?
Good.
Hey, why don't you
I
come
want
sit?
yogurt.
Want yogurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Need to get sick. Then sick.
Yeah, the homemade granola is a family hit right now. I mean, look at these granola pieces. Absolutely incredible. I mean, she's just been chefing it up. And then I usually do oat milk. We only have soy milk right now. Not my favorite, but you know what Charlie told me the other day? Soy milk has 7 grams or 8 grams of protein per serving versus oat milk has 1. And I have been trying to have a breakfast, so I'm not trying to up my general protein intake. I know that's, people have various philosophies on protein, but I have noticed that if I have a breakfast with protein as soon as I wake up, and I know the general philosophy is don't eat as soon as you wake up, but that's general. That's not if you're running 100 miles a week. Or for me, I need to get calories in as soon as I wake up and also right before I go to bed. Otherwise, I'm going to be underfueled. But for me, I've noticed that doing a protein-rich first meal, and it doesn't have to be a ton of calories, but 20 grams of protein or so, that really helps my mood and just feeling more level. Roni feels the same way. She wants some yogurt. So I'll put a little bit of yogurt in Roni's. It's crazy because a lot of these dairy things I just never really liked that much. No, I just don't eat them at all. But yeah, whole milk yogurt, not my favorite. So this is what I'm going to put in mine. Some Aldi peanut butter. Shout out Aldi, man. What's that? Oh, I'll get you some. So the other thing is, Charlie said with the stores, so with the peanut butter, she said, I'm not allowed to eat a lot of this because we might have that storm. And I guess the power might go out, which is kind of wild. I mean, it's 2026, but these things can still happen. And we can't, it's funny, we think we're so advanced, right? But we still can't outsmart Mother Nature. She wants to pull up with the ice storm. Better gosh dang prepare, bro. We might be camping out indoors, bringing out all our blankets and our big jackets and everything. It's just crazy. Then the other thing she said, there's no bread in the stores right now because people are panic buying things that you can make without electricity and heat. There's no bread, and there's also no toilet paper. That's the thing that always goes. It's so funny to me. But what I always question is, do you not have at least, because at most power would be out for probably what, 4 days, 2 days, maybe a week? Don't most people have a week's supply of toilet paper in their house on average, right? There's very few people who probably don't have 2 days to 5 days worth of toilet paper. But then when you get news of a storm hitting or the COVID shutdown, it's immediately the panic buying the toilet. I don't understand it. It's just one of those phenomena. So yeah, that's the protein rich. I don't even say protein rich, but balanced breakfast. And the other thing is, I've been trying to do this before my coffee. I ski breakfast, a little protein and calories before the coffee to set the day off right. Because I was realizing if I'm doing coffee on the empty stomach and then having the breakfast, or then having the breakfast and the calories, just feel more, more jittery. This is a nice way to feel balanced and more level. So that's what I'm doing. Homemade granola with my least favorite milk type here and some peanut butter. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. Movie. You need more yogurt?
Yeah.
Are you a yogurt queen?
I need more yogurt.
How do you ask?
I need more yogurt.
Can I have more yogurt, please?
Yeah.
Can you say, can I have more yogurt, please?
Yogurt, please.
Thank you. Yes, you may. I'm telling you, these kids are absolute yogurt fiends. Both her and Reevesy, they just pound dairy. Hey, new currency today. Everywhere you look, should be a banger. It's always a good day. I think mine got here.
Hey, we both have.
Yeah, we both have new cameras. We should get yours set up this weekend.
Daddy, I don't have a jacket.
Oh, this is mommy's, something mommy ordered. Food. And then
Here, here.
come to my office, okay? So really been on that podcast tech grind, trying to improve. So I got this thing. This is what Grant had. Obsbot 4K webcam. Cloud white. They also put it in Chinese. Shout out China. I'm guessing this is another Chinese product, so you know it's going to be high quality, man. Looks like an absolute banger. Obsbot 4K cam. And yeah, we have the second episode of the Mileage podcast dropping tomorrow, featuring the Supwell team. I am super excited about it. It was really fun. We did a fun game, and it was just awesome to get the full team on there, chop it up about shoes. And I did shoot that one with, so my iPhone was the camera. The angle is kind of weird. I've just been trying to improve it, man. And some people were saying, oh, the audio was not that bad. It was kind of bad. I got the mic set up for yesterday. The camera wasn't great on the first one. So this is just an iterate as we go type of situation. But look at this. Boom. Webcam action here. I think this is the clip for on top of the... This would go on top of the laptop. And then I'm guessing this is a cord, probably. And this wasn't all that expensive. This was cheaper than a Saucony ride. So worthwhile investment for this. There's certain things I'm willing to invest in, other things where I don't want to spend the money. But I think something like this to get the quality to a certain level. It doesn't need to be super, I don't know. It's not going to be Quentin Tarantino, but if we can get it looking decent, that'll be good. All right, so I think do you plug this in? Yep, you plug this in here, and then I'd plug this into my computer. I wonder if I have to download some sort of software. Probably. And how does this, yeah, this is the last piece. How does this connect to this? Bro. This might be a little too advanced for me. Alright, I'm going to figure this out later, and then we will get it firing and good to go. But shout out to Obsbot. Obsbot. Does it look weird? Yeah. It's a little webcam. I'll just go on my computer. Also, it's magnetic. See that?
Can I see? Can I just stick it on here or there?
Yeah, it's cool, right? Alright, you want to put it on my desk? I'm going to set it up later.
No. I just want to set it up.
Okay, we can try. Alright, dude, you want to see? Look, this is the new camera. New camera, and we have the mic set up. What do you think?
What mic? Set up.
This mic right here.
I'm talking it.
Yeah, what do you want to say? No. So with this one, you don't have to move it like that. You can just leave it. You can just talk, and you don't have to get that close. You can just talk normally, and it'll pick up your voice.
Okay. What should I say?
You can talk about your new backpack.
I have a new backpack and it doesn't has anything and it does has sea things on it though.
Yeah, it has sharks on the pattern, but you didn't put
But
anything
they're
inside.
there's different sorts.
Yeah. Should we go try to eat breakfast?
No.
No?
Now can you
You want to stop it?
yeah.
Yeah, press this.
Plus I look now.
Friday, school drop-off day.
It's not cold.
No, but it's supposed to get super cold. It's supposed to be an ice storm. Everything's supposed to freeze.
Today?
No, on tomorrow and the weekend. I'm gonna grab some water. Hold on. Oh gosh!
What?
Did you see that?
What?
A hawk just flew right in front of the car.
Well, Collins said
That was crazy.
The Rams are having trouble with the footing, and the receivers were having trouble with the footing. I mean, think like, and I obviously I'm biased, and you know anyone who roots for an East Coast team is kind of biased.
Why did the hawk do that?
Playing outdoors and what it does for your stats. And your ability
Wasn't
to
paying
stuff
attention,
on
I guess.
offense versus being in a dome indoors. I think it's a real thing. Like I look at the Breeze stats and Manning stuff in Indianapolis. I just think it's an advantage versus like if you're somebody like Brady, that's not like a Brady thing.
Just
Bye.
again, it is moved to 4.5.
See ya.
So if you wanted to take
Lord Warmer Porter. It's custom order, you can't get it on Mr. Porter. The engine on in the Porsche, the spoiler. With the big 50 pointers. Picture broke niggas giving me pointers. Why Tusi on the two?
Dude, Rock Marcy with the disgusting flows.
Niggas serving loose on the roof, just juicing the Lucy. Who slipped you a roofie? Cougar tried to put roots on me, but I'm not a newbie. Could have been a QB, how she threw the beauty of the week in Emilio Pucci, but now
Rain's picking up here, so I'm guessing this is going to be a rainy morning run when I get back to Mint Hill. And it's supposed to rain this entire weekend, so it's not supposed to snow. What's supposed to happen is rain and then really cold temperatures so that the ice comes, and it's supposed to be a half an inch of ice. And everyone's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out. So we'll just see. But I'm hoping I can just stack a ton of mileage today, early tomorrow, and then we'll be good. The thing is, if we lose power, that's not going to be a pretty situation. But yeah, as I was talking about yesterday, my training has just been in a holding pattern recently, and it's not really anything that I can do. I don't know. It's sometimes you have periods. That's what I was trying to say yesterday. You have periods of life where you just can't. It's just not. You can't do peak training. And what I'm realizing is that training has been probably my 4th or 5th priority. My job, my actual job. I don't know if people know I have an actual job. I work 40 hours a week for a company. That's been taking a lot of time. We've had a few big pitches. I was up late working last night for that. And then trying to launch the podcast, trying to work on the new app, get that over the finish line. There's just other priorities, and all these things take time and energy. So it's, yeah, and I know people, this is why I don't really talk about my training anymore, because it always just opens the door for critiques. But I think sharing where I am for people who get value out of this channel and aren't just looking to troll is helpful, because it's not really a situation where, because I know people love saying hire a coach. Sometimes a coach isn't going to be able to help. I have a training plan, I have a goal, but right now it's not my focus, and I'm trying to make it the focus. But you can't do everything, and that's just what I've been realizing this year, right? You can't do everything. I would have loved to bag that sub 230 last year. It's like the Super Bowl window with a team. Right, and you come up short, it's okay. Do we rebuild, or, oh my goodness, I just got a traffic crime on camera there. I think it might have been blurred out. But yeah, do we rebuild, or do we try to give it another shot with the roster we have? And a quick turnaround marathon is like giving it another shot with the roster we have. And from the 232, it's like the 242 is basically a 3-14 season. Came back with the 232, made it to the, let's call it the AFC Championship game, lost in the AFC Championship game. Now I'm trying to decide, okay, do I go for a full rebuild and stack some draft picks and come back in 2 seasons and make a title run, or do I try to make a quick turnaround? And that's just what I'm trying to figure out right now with everything that I'm prioritizing with my life. And it's, yeah, I was traveling last week. The week before that, there was some sickness going around my house, and I have 2 good weeks before I'm traveling again. So it's just trying to figure out. But I've been maintaining the base mileage, and through just letting the system run, having that base mileage floor, doing the long runs, doing a few sessions every couple weeks, at least doing one session a week, I've been able to at least maintain. Dude, I'm telling you, Rock Marcy has the craziest flows. I listened to a few songs on the Currency album, and I'm vibing more with the Rock Marcy album this morning. This also dropped. Just his flows are incredible. Go give it a listen. 656. He just shouted out Nordic track. He said, I hung my jacket on the Nordic track. That's a bar. Rock Marcy, low-key hobby jogger. He's got a Nordic track. Those are nice treadmills, too, if you get the top tier ones. Who would have known? I should send him a mileage shirt or something. DM him on Instagram. Get Rock Marcy in a mileage shirt and a hobby jogger hat. Maybe I can get him to record an intro for the podcast or something. That'd be a banger. Alright, man, time to get this mileage. The rain seems like it's picking up too, but gotta do what we gotta do. Alright, man, let's get it. Puma MagMax 2. Starting the mileage accumulation mission. Some days it really does feel like a mission, man. But the thing is, sometimes the mileage feels like the main mission. Other times, it feels more like a side quest. This is what I'm trying to say. Right now, the mileage accumulation of my training, it almost feels like a side quest with everything else I have going on. But I'm still trying to prioritize it and grind out this mileage because it is important to me. But it's just, if you have kids, if you have a job, if you have goals, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't be operating 100% all the time with the training. It's a hard realization, but it's one that I'm trying to work through right now and figure out how to still make progress, because regressing isn't fun. But I've been doing a pretty good job, and the thing is, my watch still thinks I'm improving, so that's good. And I did blast a 520 mile yesterday, or actually 519. Boys talking about get a coach. Bang the 519. All right, shoe for today is the MagMax 2. So I've really been trying to figure this one out. It's a weird one. Man. I've just gone back and forth on it. So first run, I was a little disappointed. I felt that it just didn't have the same bounce as the OG, and also comparing this to the Vomero Plus, didn't have the same, just the same fun and the same speed capability. I also felt that if you take a look at this platform, how flat it is, it really wants you to land on the back here. And when I'm in a sharp phase of training, which I'm not right now, when I'm in a sharper growth phase of training, landing more on the midfoot, putting power down on the midfoot and having a quick foot strike. And what I've found is this really wants you to heel strike. This is almost a purpose-built heel striker shoe, and I think that's where I've been going back and forth. Heel striking, and then for me, it feels very pace limited, and some days that feels nice for recovery miles. Others, it doesn't. Now, what I have not done in this shoe yet is a true high mileage test. So to see how this foam and ride experience evolves as we get deeper into a run. I think the longest run I've done this is probably 10 miles. So I'm going to go longer than that this morning. No promises, but I do have a goal for a big mileage day today. If I get it, it will probably be in the title, so you'll know how many miles we got total on the day. But that's the plan. Just get out here and stack some mileage in the MagMax 2. I did run in this earlier this week as well, and I think I got a 16-mile day on, was it Monday? Okay, so I guess I went 12 miles on Monday. Did I go 12 miles in this on Monday? Or was that another shoe? No, that was this. So I have gone 12. So I guess we have to go longer than 12 this morning. But yeah, it's just, I keep going back and forth because on that double test that I did earlier this week, it felt good for the morning run. And then the afternoon run, just a short 4-piece, felt not that great. So I've just been going back and forth with this, and that's the goal of today, trying to get a good read. And it's one of these shoes where it's been really hard for me to get a good read on it. It still has that reliable, stable feel, but beyond that, I'm still trying to figure it out. All right, let's do this thing. came in here to grab my camera again, and you can hear that Mac fan is just going and going. And this thing has just been giving me so much trouble, man. And especially with the new podcast software we have, feels like anything I do with that Mac is just absolutely stretching it to its limits. So if you have any suggestions on how to do a Mac cleanup, because I really would like to not buy a new computer for multiple thousands of dollars. So if you have any suggestions on how I can clean it up, please let me know. I know we have some smart folks out there. How do I do a cleanup? I don't even know where to start because it just feels like it's always overloaded. I have the hard drive in there with that I run the editing for the YouTube videos. Then we have our design software where we design all our Instagram posts. And then of course I have a million browser tabs open because I'm doing whatever I'm doing with researching stuff. And it just feels like it's always overloaded. Kind of like me, my MacBook is a reflection of me. So if you have suggestions on how to make the Mac not overloaded, because it's not that old. It's a nice Mac. I got one when I was working at a startup in 2021. So I guess 5 years. Is that old for a Mac? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know how to fix it. Yeah, this is gonna be a longer run this morning. It's cold, wet, rainy. I don't have a lot of pop. And yeah, just the thing with this shoe, it doesn't encourage a poppy run style. It encourages a shuffle. And it's like I really have to work to run my normal pace in this. That's the element I'm trying to figure out. It's almost like the shoe is too slow. I don't know. TBD. It's taking a lot of miles to figure this one out. I really should have gotten that blue colorway, man. I'm really only running these on rainy days. They're all white and they look disgusting now. I just didn't really like any of the other colorways. The gray and yellow was okay, but I don't know, that was also the launch press colorway. And I usually try to get something different. And I just love an all white, but in the Carolinas, it just rains all winter. That was mile 1, by the way. 8:13 pace. I did two warm-up loops. Yeah, just back to the training thing. I've been thinking the whole Truett Haynes situation is a great example of why I pretty much stopped talking about my training on the channel. The Truett Haynes shares his goal of what he wants to run in the marathon. Then you have all these people just completely trashing him and telling him he can't do it. Now, he is a much more popular figure than I am, but it's a great example of what happens online. It's a lot of unnecessary added stress. So if I just don't talk about my training and my races, I don't have to deal with that. It is a balance though, because I do feel, for example, showing my entire workout yesterday, how the first 3 reps were really hard. My first 3 hard mile reps in a month, because I was letting the body recover, showing in real time what it feels like trying to get back into it. Man, having to jump straight into that workout with a 10-minute warm-up, because that's what I had time for. That's the real process sometimes. And I know it's helpful for other people to see. But it's almost like anytime I have a training struggle, then there's just a cacophony of annoying noise of people telling me everything I'm doing wrong. Sometimes And I'm not trying to make this about haters or anything. That's just the reality. But the broader point, and the reason I show it and think it's valuable to show it, is because that is training. That is training. The difficulties. So that's why I think it's valuable to show it. Yeah, if I could hire a coach who could attend my Zoom calls for me, make coffee in the morning, edit my videos, drive Mason to school on Fridays, man. But the thing is, I like doing all that because that's life. And figuring out how to do it is part of life. We all have to work through these things. And that's what I like about training too. And being my own coach is figuring it out. In terms of the ride of this thing, it is very smooth. It is very smooth. Even smoother than the last version. The last one had more of an aggressive bounce. This is just smooth and gentle. It's like the Aveeno of running shoes. Mile 2, 7:43. Trying to stack dough like a bread baker. Watched your video. It was a head shaker. You're just making reels for the med takers. Your whole squad is full of dead waiters. Trying to get a crib with like 10 acres. Charlie needs a new passport. She's doing Fed papers. These boys sleeping on me in their bed chambers. Trying to wake them up like a hen's neighbor. Trying to wake them up like a rooster. Trying to get cash like a booster. These boys talking from the back seat in their boosters. I'm a young shaker and a mover. I'm a young stepper and a groover. Puma MagMax 2, I maneuver. Getting mileage in the streets, you're in the sewers. I'm balling on these boys like an alley-ooper. My favorite type of trainers are super. Might pull up in the jeans like Cooper. My parents had good genes like a pro hooper. Getting more mileage than a state trooper. Talking to these boys crazy, MAGA truther. You cannot stop me, Lex Luthor. Superman flows in the boother. Feeling like the one, you can be the tuver. Feeling like the president, like Groover. I mean Grover, I'm talking Cleveland. Linked with Thomas, you best believe it. Today it's time to chill. I'm not on that demon. Puma MagMax 2, so I'm not speeding. Every day's a feast, how I'm eating. I feel like Marshawn, how I'm beasting. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. Man, I'm trying to go 14 this morning. These runs are long. You gotta entertain yourself somehow. Get mileage from sun up to sundown. Really in the streets like a sundial. I went to Columbia, so I lived uptown. Alright, let's end it. That was mile 3. Mile 3, man. Puma MagMax 2. Best shoe for spitting bars in the rain. Laying down pain. Blow their eardrums out with the high gain. I thought you left. High again. Locked in, bro. The mileage mixtape coming March 2026. Volume 1. Let's drop a funk flex bomb on him one time. I do not walk, run. Do I look like Jeff Galloway? Put me in, coach. I feel like Jeff Saturday. Got a lot of drive, like Callaway. Tell these boys it's a movie. Matinee. I made the low mileage boys pass away. In a different bag, but I still got them mad today. I'm really trying to listen to what the pastors say, but I cannot chill, I'm sad to say. Always keep it real, like an Instagrammer. I'm a big dog, you're just a little spammer. Hobby jogger slug life, I made a whole different grammar. Let me say it twice, I made a whole different grammar. Back kicking in the kitchen like grandma. 4-hour drive from Atlanta. The shoe started white, but the dirt got him tanner. Stretching out the flow like a tanner. It's just coming to me. I don't know what to say. It's just coming to me this morning. Came for the shoes, but they stayed for the bars. Bro, pick your head up. You gotta shoot for the stars. Not at the roof yet, but I still made it far. I will not gatekeep. I keep the door ajar. Jamming on these boys like a jar. Slamming on these boys like Abdul-Jabbar. They watch me on the TV like a superstar. If I keep this grind up, I might pull up in a supercar. This is a vibey shoe, man. This is a vibey shoe. It's got me vibing. This is what I was saying yesterday. Trying to find a vibe. I feel like there's no vibe right now. With my training, with my flow of everything. It's an interstitial period. It's an interlude. It's a transition. But I think the vibe might just be stacking mileage and not trying to rip off crazy workouts. I mean, I literally let that Deviate Elite sit in a box for 5 days before running in it because I wasn't ready to rip a big workout. And this is what adaptive training or the vibes of the MVP system is all about. Listening to your body. Yes, there are times to force it, but it is also a time to just take a step back. And really listen. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of January, just trying to get my mileage back up. Absorb all that racing and do a few workouts here and there, but not try to be a hero. Just vibe. I think the way to think about the MagMax too might be like the Nimbus. I really think this might be the same category of shoe as the Nimbus. Yes, it's firmer. Yes, it's bouncier. But in terms of use case, which is different than the OG. The OG felt, you could just give it some more gas, give it some more juice. Midlife Runner called the OG a Zone 3 shoe. I don't think anyone would call the MagMax 2 a Zone 3 shoe. Or at least if you have different training ranges, because for some people, if you're just starting out, most of your runs are gonna be Zone 3, but if you train with a 5-zone range and you're able to access that, I don't think many people would be using the MagMax 2 as a Zone 3 shoe. Man, if there's a coach out there that can postpone this ice storm so I could do my long run Sunday, I might hire that coach. Give me an extra day of recovery. Maybe there's a coach who has one of those Click remote controls. And we all know how Click turned out, but they could just pause time. Okay, let me pause in the middle of this Zoom call, take an hour-long nap, and then I'll restart. Man, if there's a coach who could do that, I'm gonna hire him ASAP. Him or her, ASAP. Edit. Back up on the mic. It's the mileage stacker. It's my time to blow like a firecracker. You know how real G's go. I'm a silent snacker. I got a new flow like a tile packer. Mile 6, 7:45. Honestly, this is pretty enjoyable. not worried about hitting a certain pace, just running. I think this is what I need. Just a few weeks of this. And this right here is exactly why I don't have a coach, because for me, I really benefit from feeling it out. And I'm very in tune with my body. And I had a plan, I had a goal for a marathon I wanted to target, but based on how I'm feeling right now, I don't think that's gonna be the case, and that's okay. That's okay. The big one this year is Chicago, so just about doing what I need to do to target that one. And right now, it feels like reprioritizing the mileage and doing very light maintenance workouts. Doing numbers in the streets like a mile marker. Well respected, like my name is Kyle Parker. I'm done. I'm actually done, okay? I'm actually done. Let's end it there. Shout out to anyone named Kyle Parker, man. If that's your name, you walk into a room, instant credibility. Instant. Shout out Kyle Parker. Yeah, you got a style too, but my style's harder. Spraying more seeds than a wild farmer. I saw the game from the nosebleeds. I gotta grind harder. Flow hotter than capsaicin. Blocking low mileage boys. Shaq Mason. What I'm spitting right now, got the tarmac shaking. Mileage so high, we'll leave half of y'all's back breaking. Might go platinum in the MagMax dose. I might go diamond in the MagMax ghost. These boys crying down Bad Brooks Ghost. Take the grind overseas straight from the East Coast. If you have the least, gotta do the most. Trying to build an empire, so I had to dig a moat. Mile 10. Couple more, few more left, boys. Couple more. Yeah, 10:22. You gotta do whatever you gotta do to get through these runs sometimes, man. I'm also thankful that I live in the Carolinas, so it's not extremely cold for the entire winter. The weather's not too bad today. But yeah, hitting a 14er on Friday morning before a packed day of meetings. You gotta let some of that silliness fly. You really do. I said I gotta grind hard, still sitting in the far bleachers, dedicated to my craft like an art teacher. All I do is go bang like a car speaker. Gotta let my nuts hang like a farm creature. Mile 11, I'm slow today, so I'm about 90 minutes in. I'm sad to report, this is not giving me the zing that I want deep into this run. Just feels like it takes some work to get this going at anything faster than an 8-minute mile for me. So if you've run in the Vomero Plus or the Rad UFO or the Mega Blast, but particularly the Vomero Plus, you know that feeling when you start leaning forward and kicking, the shoe just pops you along. That's not happening here. Yes, I'm able to drop the pace, but it's just not natural at all. It really wants to lock me in to a slower pace. It's almost like I'm fighting the shoe. Fighting the shoe to get it down to 7:30. Thing about me, I'm dropping bars for the ball mowers, for the Shaq Mason appreciators. Shout out Shaq Mason, man. Yeah, I'm just sad. I think my issue with this shoe It's like reuniting with an old friend. An old friend who is there for you at a time of your life that feels like such a far distant past. Maybe it was an old partying friend, or a friend from a sports team that you don't play for anymore and that you haven't played in years, or an old colleague from the beginning of your career, and you're just in a different place, and it's nice to see them. Of course, you enjoy their company still. They're a nice guy, but you just don't have all that much in common anymore. You've moved on. There's different people you interact with. And that's nothing against that person. They're a great person. They're doing well in life. They've got a successful career, a beautiful family. But you just don't connect like you used to. That's going on with the MagMax too, man. The other thing is, MagMax OG, that was so dialed for me. So perfect. And I always talked about how that shoe cleaned up my foot strike. I didn't have to think about how I was landing. The shoe just did the work. With this one, it's been an entirely different experience every other run. Seriously, it's like an alternating pattern, back and forth. One run, this feels super soft and bouncy. The next run feels just okay. And then even within this run, there's some periods here where it's disappearing on foot. And then some others where I'm almost feeling like the shoe is holding me back in some way. I just cannot get a clear read on this thing. Yeah, I don't know. I know people come for the hot takes. I don't think I have a hot take on this. Said I'm really spitting bars for the ball knowers. Back up in the pocket like a ball thrower. Gotta give praise to the all-knower. I put in a lot of work like a small mower. This a punched-in flow. Rocky Balboa. Balling on these boys with the soft floater. Put the slugs on my back. Got broad shoulders. 14-piece, man. Shout out Sam Darnold, who had on their bingo card Sam Darnold balling out more than Josh Allen. I guess it's debatable balling out, but making it deeper into the playoffs. But yeah, 14 miles of pure nonsense and shenanigans in the MagMax 2. Gotta remember to charge my pod here. Why is this not focusing? Can you focus, please? Yeah, 14 miles. Oh, did this drop? Sometimes when it drops, it doesn't. Hold on. I realized I was just talking to myself for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. But yeah, if you take a look at this run today, let's fire up the history. 14 miles, 7:48 pace, 1 hour, 49 minutes, 32 seconds. And I was saying it gave me good efficiency, 100%, because my heart rate is 140. And Coro seems to do a really good job understanding just the fitness metrics are the best versus Strava, which always tells me I'm getting slower. Unless I crush crazy workouts with a low heart rate, Strava tells me I'm getting slower. And then the Garmin would always tell me I'm overtrained. Coro seems to do a good job understanding how fitness builds over time and how consistency really maintains that base fitness. And if you look at the blue line on your base fitness graph, or at least on mine, that's what really seems to... That's the most powerful and best running metric I've seen. It seems to really reflect well what the mileage does, because a lot of these other algorithms, they in my opinion, over-index on intensity and heart rate, and are really judging you and your fitness based on how much race pace or workout pace you're doing, what your heart rate was at that. Coros, on the other hand, seems to do a good job with understanding the overall mix and places the appropriate emphasis on the volume and consistency over time. Shoes, MagMax 2. This thing is absolutely disgusting. I've got to clean it up. And I also think some brands just are worse at this. Puma, for example, their white shoes, they always pick up so much dirt. I don't know if it's because this rubber is so sticky that it has the dirt stick to it or something, or just the material they use. But yeah, these shoes always get disgusting. Some other shoes don't. But yeah, for this run, I've been struggling with this shoe the entire time. And it's really not a bad shoe, but it feels like it's locking me in to a certain pace, and it's locking me into a style of running that I don't want to be doing. It almost feels like, when this is what I was trying to say out there about having a friend you reconnect with, or a past colleague or teammate, it almost feels like this is from a different era, that I've outgrown the MagMax. Is that possible? It's crazy. This was on the Max Cushion Gang hoodie, but maybe it's the shoe, maybe it's me, maybe it's the geometry, but something about this is just, it hasn't 100% been hitting for me. Feels like I need to recuse myself from this case. You know, when there's a conflict of interest in a legal matter, you have to recuse yourself from the case. I think I need to recuse myself from judgment on the MagMax 2 here. I have too much emotional connection to this shoe, man. I have too many memories of the last version, too many miles stacked in the OG. It's a nostalgic shoe. I still don't know what to think about the MagMax 2. It just feels like it's not hitting for me. And we can throw up the run from today, 14 miles, around a 740, 750 pace. And I think every time I'm reaching for this shoe, it's because I'm testing it and I'm trying to get that final read. And there's been a few times, it was almost like how I felt about the Super Blast, where people love it and then I'm running in it to try to experience what everyone else is experiencing. And this is nothing like the Super Blast. The ride experience of this is much smoother. But it's not giving me what I want. And we were talking about this with the Supwell team yesterday, and this was in relation to the Hyperion Max 3, which was one of Grant's favorite shoes. And it almost became this meme, how much I was talking about it last year. Hey, Grant put 500 miles in the Hyperion Max 3. He loved that thing. But then summer 2025 hit, Rad UFO, Vomero Plus, Mega Blast, and that triumvirate right there, that trifecta, just wiped the floor with everything else. And it's made it so hard for a lot of us to reach for the shoes that we used to enjoy. And I think that's some of where this is falling flat for me, no pun intended, falling flat. But it's not giving me the same pop that the Vomero Plus, Rad UFO, and Mega Blast give me. And as I was getting deeper into that run, legs were getting tired. You can see in the splits, I dropped down to some 750s there. Just wasn't really pushing as hard as I was earlier in the run. The shoe was not, I don't know, it wasn't. What I loved about the MagMax, the OG, it would always help me fight back as I got into those scenarios. With this one, it felt like I was working against the geometry of the shoe. Like, it was not working in my favor. It was not giving me any of that assistance. And I think it really comes down to this heel geometry. And the same thing that makes this shoe really good at being a recovery shoe and a stable workhorse and a reliable pick for injury prevention and impact absorption, the same thing, which is that robust and chunky heel, is what's also making it harder for me to get it going. And my preference right now is shoes that have more pop. So I've honestly been leaning more toward the Deviate Nitro as a daily than this. And I think if I went out this morning for the same exact run in the Deviate Nitro, I probably would have averaged a 730, which for my current style of training, what I've been doing the past 3-4 months, is better. So it almost feels like we talk about product market fit with when you're launching a company and trying to find your customer and everything, you have to have product market fit. You could have an awesome, beautifully designed application, but if you don't know, okay, this is for tax preparers serving farmers. Like, that's product market fit. Those tax preparers serving farmers maybe are doing things by hand and they need some sort of automated online system. Okay, product market fit. Same thing with the shoe. You need to have a shoe training fit. Shoe training system fit, right? If you're running a lot of relaxed aerobic miles, something like the Nimbus or the MagMax might be better versus if you're running steady miles. And that's what I've been grappling with this shoe. It was the same reason I didn't love the Vomero Plus at first, because I was doing more relaxed miles. But now that I've switched up my training, I'm in a lower volume period. I haven't even hit 100. I'm trying to hit 100 this week, but I haven't since before Thanksgiving. My legs aren't as fatigued. This felt like a slow run today, and I averaged, what, 7:48? A slow run last year would have been an 8:48. So, shoe training fit. But what I do wonder, is there also an element here where the shoe has lost some of its magic? And that's the quiet part out loud, right? That's the elephant in the room with the MagMax 2. Has it lost some of the magic? There's a few theories I've heard. So, the foam, I don't think it's changed that much, but the geometry, right? Did they make a significant geometry change? Because I keep talking about how the heel on the back feels flat. Did they re-scope this? Is there more of that midfoot bump? Now, when I had the OG and I did the tipping test, it really did seem like there was more of that midfoot bump on the bottom, which could position the older one as more of that Zone 3 champ, as more of a shoe that puts you up on your forefoot, very similar to the Rad UFO actually. So that's one of the theories. Did it lose some of the magic because of that? Another theory I've heard, which I don't know all about that, is the rubber. So because they disconnected the rubber, it's not as quick to transition through. It's not as smooth. I don't think rubber makes all that much of a difference to the ride experience. In my humble hobby jogger shoe tube experience, it does not. So I'm gonna discount that one. And then another thing would just be the platform, because they did widen out the upper. And is the upper maybe changing the ride? And because it's a more voluminous fit, just making the shoe feel more relaxed and less dialed? Because if you look at the Evo SL with the standard versus the woven for a lot of people out there, and maybe it's the factory going from China and Vietnam to Indonesia, maybe it's softer, but the woven upper is also creating a more dialed feel that is significantly changing how that geometry is experienced. So maybe it's one of those things, one of those three. Maybe it's none of them. Maybe it did lose the magic. Maybe the foam is slightly tweaked. Maybe I need to put more miles in it to break it in. I'll check how many miles I have now, but I do think I'm around 50, and I've at least done 5 or 6 runs, which is a decent number of runs to get a good feel for it. And yeah, what I can say about it is I am not loving it as much as I loved the OG and Mega Blast, UFO, and Vomero Plus. Those are really just solidified as my top 3 training shoes right now, and it's hard for anything to be able to crack that. I think the Deviate Nitro is the one slotting in maybe the 4th slot or flirting with the top 5 for me, and then Nimbus as well as that true recovery shoe. So I have enjoyed this so far on some runs. Again, I told you I did a run earlier this week where this was nice. I've done some stroller miles where this feels nice, but again, it's not encouraging me to lean forward and pop those legs off the ground. It's more of a shuffling shoe. And somebody asked me recently, can you put together a list of shoes that slow you down? This might be number 1 on that list, man. This really feels like it's a shoe that's slowing me down and wants to lock me in to a faster pace, all the way on the other side of something like the Fast R3, which will speed you up. I put the Fast R3 on, my first mile is gonna be a 650 at least, maybe even a 620. I put this on, it wants me to be running 8 flat. So, shoe training system fit, this is not it. I do think there's some elements of it though that are also holding it back from ultimate greatness, and it's not just how I'm training. It does feel one step behind those top shoes, and maybe it's coming down to the foam. So the other thing is, do they need another rev on this foam? MagMax 3, I've been talking about how they need to make a Deviate Max 3. Maybe it's time for them to, in the next generation, put dual foam or just a more exciting compound, put a softer foam or more of a real race foam in here, because you see what ASICS is doing, you see what the UFO is doing, Vomero Plus, those shoes are just super energetic. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Or we just accept that this is a Nimbus type shoe, because again, I've been talking about Nimbus, it's not all about the energy return. So maybe we just reframe and say this is a Nimbus type shoe. I'm spinning my wheels here. I'm spinning my wheels. All right, mid-semester grade. I'll get this up to 100. So mid-semester grade, I'm giving this a B+. My initial plan for today was to do a 20-mile or 20-something mile day. In this, I'm not gonna run this afternoon. I'm gonna run the Deviate Nitro because I want to get a different feel. And I really think the Deviate Nitro might be the better of the two. And I know there's slightly different shoes, Speed Trainer versus Max Cushion, but a lot of people have overlap in how they're using these shoes. So I think I'm gonna switch over to that one for my afternoon run, see if that's a better fit for how I'm wanting to run right now, and then we can close it out. So I appreciate you. We'll be back later with some more insights. Talking to these boys like a town hall. I am not preying on your downfall. Gotta take a shower, hit a Zoom call, dancing on this beat like I'm John Wall. You ever just feel like it's never enough, you're never doing enough? You're putting in all this time, no matter what. There's this to do, there's this to do. It's a tough feeling. That's how I've been feeling recently, man. It's never enough. I was staying up till 10 working. Well, there's this other thing. It's just tough. And this is honestly one of those weeks from heck. It's just slammed with meetings on all angles. But thankfully, Charles made me lunch, little chicken nuggies, honey mustard sandwich with some avocado and some sort of healthy spinach balsamic salad. I might sneak some chips into here too, but we're cranking. We are cranking. Shout out Charles. Legendary, man. This looks super good. So I'm going to eat this, make some coffee, and then get back out there for the double in the Deviate. Just makes me sad, man. Just makes me sad. It's not trash. That's the trash. That's the recycling bin. It's not trash, but it's also not, it's just not, I don't know, it's not fire. I don't think it's fire. Solid. It's not trash, it's solid. Not everything is trash or fire. Some things are trash. Some things are fire. And some things are solid. Looking at my current mileage for the week. It's so close. It's so close. Run number two. Today is one of those days, man, where if I make it through this run, it's a success. That's all that matters. Sometimes it's getting the mileage. That's all that matters. Also, these are beautiful. I'm about to take them out there in the wet. They're about to get mucked up, real mucked up. And I think the shoe did officially drop today, the Deviate Nitro 4. So you can actually pick it up now if you need to. Well, I guess not need. Need from a sicko point of view. But yeah, man, run number 2 of the day in the Deviate Nitro. I decided to switch into this from the MagMax because I just wasn't vibing with the MagMax this morning. And I think this shoe here, yes, it's plated, yes, it has the race foam, but it might be a better shoe training system fit, right? Think about product market fit. It might be a better product training system fit for me right now than the MagMax. That's just where I'm landing. It is where I'm landing. And if you look at the Deviate Nitro 3 versus the OG MagMax, I got so many more miles on the MagMax than the last version of this thing. I didn't even make the Deviate Nitro 3 up to 100. So in this generation, it might be flipped. But yeah, what I'm enjoying in my shoes these days is that encouragement, that little pep. Even just lacing these up, getting it on foot, this thing just feels so nice on foot. It just feels dialed. This might be edging up into that top for me. I don't know if it's going to be knocking off the UFO or the Mega Blast, but maybe in that conversation for top 5 on my personal list. And again, it's so personal because of shoe training system fit, but upper of this, the lighter weight, the bounce, it just feels nice. It feels right. It feels so right, man. How could something so wrong feel so right? Isn't that a Kanye bar? All right, man, let's get out of here. Second run of the day. If I make it through this, it's going to be a gosh dang miracle. Let's do it. Got me feeling like LeBron, man. All day, I've just been thinking about prime LeBron with how I'm forcing this big mileage day. And I did get 8 miles, 6:55 pace. I was moving, 57:47. But I've had this image in my head of prime LeBron. If you ever saw him play, and he still does this now, he just doesn't dial up this archetype as much. It's very similar to how prime Russell Westbrook used to play. But prime LeBron taking the rock to the hole. When he drove from the top of the key, nobody was stopping him, man. He was either getting a bucket or he was getting fouled. That was it. He was taking it to the house, man. And sometimes you just have to be like a bull in a china shop. You have to be like prime LeBron and just force that mileage, man. Just put your head down and bull rush. And that's how I felt today, just knowing it was going to be a challenge to get this. I haven't done a big mileage day in a while. It was going to be a physical challenge. It was going to be a logistical challenge, but these are the things you have to do sometimes. So I'm at, what was that? I was at 68.99 miles. So we can round up to 69 plus 8 is what? 77? Is that right? A little hobby jogger math right there. I think that's right. I think that's right. Yeah, 77 miles on the week now. So I'm looking good to get the 100. Maybe I even just close it out with a 23 piece. No, that sounds disgusting. So that does mean I can just hit a 20. I was thinking I would have to hit a 22, but I can just hit a 20 tomorrow and be done with it. But yeah, I was absolutely moving on that run. So my Coro says excellent efficiency, 105%. Let's see the heart rate. 148 at a 6:55 pace, which is really good. In terms of the shoe here, man, yeah, this is a much better fit with what I'm doing in my training right now. This is exactly what I was talking about the shoe training system fit. The aggression, the fact that it wants me to get up on the front, the fact that it's encouraging me to rip 6:55 on tired legs versus this morning. I know it was a shorter run than this morning. This morning was 14, but still, it's not a short run, 8 miles, especially at the end of a 22-mile day. And it wasn't easy, but this shoe was making it easier to access those paces. It's all about what these shoes are optimized to do. And this one really feels right at home at that 540 to 650 range, and maybe even closer to that 650. It felt perfect today. So if you're training for the sub-3 marathon or right around that, and 250 to 315, you're going to absolutely love this thing. So this is my pick of the two. I know this wasn't a head-to-head comparison. I'm just stacking some mileage and running both of them. But yeah, this is my winner of the two right now. This is just the one that feels better for how I'm training. And I don't want to run in it all the time because it does have a carbon plate. And that doesn't mean you can't run in it every day, but it's just I would prefer not to have the stiffness and the aggression all the time. So I did the comparison to the Mega Blast last week, not a head-to-head, but running in both of them and talking about them. Mega Blast is definitely more of a daily. This is more of that Zone 3 tempo shoe. But absolute banger, man. It is creeping up those ranks for me for sure. I think just one last thing on the comparison between this and the MagMax. This definitely leans way more towards speed and sacrifices some of that protection, especially in the beginning. I was feeling like the forefoot, maybe it's a certain foot strike, but just the forefoot wasn't as protective as I wanted it to be. But I was pretty much ignoring that by the end, just locked into the pace and grooving at around 650. And I think it was a progression, so I even dropped some 630 in there. So yeah, Deviate Nitro 4, this is the winner. This is the banger. This feels like my new friend, whereas the MagMax is the old friend that we don't connect with as much anymore. Still a nice fella, but not the one I'm going to call up to come watch the game. So there you have it, man. 22 piece. I hope everyone stays safe this weekend with the ice storm and everything. We're just going to have to see how it goes. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow with another video. I actually think the mileage podcast is going to be going up Saturday, and then Sunday we'll probably have the long run video. Hopefully the internet stays out. That's going to be another challenge too. So if we have any logistical challenges, it's because of the ice storm. Just know that. Hopefully we can get everything straightened out, and hopefully I'll at least have my hot spot to do something. All right, I appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow with another video. Shout out to LeBron too, putting in work, man. 41 years old, still getting active. It's impressive.